Hey everyone, Greg Scott Bailey, and I'm back with Marvel Movie Marathon Week 3. This time it's Iron Man 2. So, Iron Man 2, we have Jon Favreau back in the director's seat. We have Robert Downey Jr. and Gweneth Paltrow. We have a change out for James Rhodey Rhodes, now played by Don Cheadle. Scarlett Johansson is playing the Black Widow, and of course, Nick Fury is back, Sam Jackson. And we have some new additions to the story, which is Sam Rockwell playing Justin Hammer, for part of Hammer Technologies, kind of a competitive company against Stark Industries when they lost the government contract. And we have Mickey Rourke as Whiplash. And then, of course, Paul Bettany comes back as Jarvis's voice. And Jon Favreau, once again, playing Happy Hogan, Tony Stark's driver and bodyguard. So real great cameos and scenes. Of course, we have Stan Lee in there. We have a couple different other known celebrities. Whether you like them or not, Bill O'Reilly is in this. And Elon Musk plays himself. He talks to Tony about making an electric jet. I thought that was kind of funny. Fun little fact here before you go into the details of the movie. In 2008, May of 2008 to be exact, we had Iron Man. And 5 weeks later, in June of 2008, we had The Incredible Hulk. This movie didn't come out until May of 2010. We had to wait 2 years for the next Marvel Studios, Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. The MCU was being built, it was still being structured, but it was not in full swing yet. So we had to wait 2 years. We're getting up to 3 movies a year now, just from Marvel Studios alone, not just the licensed properties, not just DC Comics, not just other companies trying to put stuff together. So I just like to remind everyone of like what a treat we have, that at this moment we still didn't get the Marvel movies as often as we do today. The movie starts out with his kind of montage scene. Ivan Vanko is the character Whiplash, and his father is apparently the kind of the co-creator of the arc reactor technology with Howard Stark, Tony's father. So with all the little details of like them not getting along, and Ivan's father getting deported, Ivan getting into trouble over the years. The movie starts out at the end of the press conference of the Iron Man movie, and what ends up happening is Ivan Vanko decides to get payback for his father's dishonor and death and everything. So he builds the Whiplash suit. What ends up happening is, in the meantime, Tony Stark, he starts to realize his blood toxicity level is getting high because of the palladium in the arc reactor. It's a toxic metal, it's a toxic element or whatever. So it's getting in his bloodstream, and there's a blood toxicity level. It starts out at like 17% or something like that. And it goes higher, it goes like to 27, 47, 52, I don't know, something like that. So the problem is like now we have to worry about, he's going to die just from the thing that's keeping him alive. It's one of the lines in the movie, in fact, from Jarvis, Paul Bettany. So he starts kind of like wanting to leave a legacy for the future. He appoints Pepper Potts as the new CEO of Stark Industries. He does the Stark Expo, and that's going to be running for a year to find the newest and brightest minds. So it's a really kind of a cool shift in his personality where he probably thinks he's going to die and he's got to leave things to people. And but then he's still kind of feeling like, well, I don't know, well, what if I just do something reckless? So he goes to Morocco and he races one of his own cars, and that's where Whiplash shows up, and we get the first fight there. Now, a lot of people don't like Iron Man 2 as if you were to kind of like grade them all down, I've noticed people will put Iron Man 2 and Incredible Hulk down at the very bottom. I myself, I wouldn't put it down there at the very bottom, but I'd give it it's about a 6.5, 7 out of 10 for me, because while, yeah, I do feel like their story could have been written and executed a little bit better, there's still something about kind of that tasty morsel aspect of this movie that I really like, which is you get to see the characters progress, you get to see them grow, and you get to see this universe build up just a little bit more. At this point in 2010, we still didn't quite know where we're going to go with things. A lot of people were kind of like, are they really going to do with the Avengers? Is this going to happen? What's going on here? And at this point, we're hearing word that Thor's coming and Captain America's coming, and then of course the Avengers. So it's just really, it's one of those movies that I don't really put down as much as everybody else does. I still enjoy it. I like watching it again once in a while. I think one of the real treats in this, fan wise, is that we get Rhodey as War Machine. And then we get to see War Machine and Iron Man fight against these other drone bots. And I know people have problems with, Iron Man facing Iron Man foes, other arc reactor or other similar technologies. But when it comes to comic books or that kind of formula, to be honest, that's what I like. I like that, if you have someone rise up with a certain kind of power, you need an equal or maybe even opposite power to defeat against it, or depending on the situation. So I like Iron Man 2. I enjoyed it very much. Again, maybe I will put it up to about 7 out of 10. As before with these, I owned Iron Man 2 before this Marvel movie marathon, so it fits in the I would own it at home category. I rewatch it every now and then when I'm drawing. It's a really fun flick to watch. So I recommend it. I recommend at least watching the fact that we get like a little initial kickstart to Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson, has some fun with the role, with the character, but she doesn't quite develop much. If I would kind of have one little quirk that I remember back then when I watched it, is I really did kind of wish that Black Widow had a Russian accent. I was really kind of hoping for that. That sure, she could do an American accent when she's playing Natalie. She's playing a character that is an executive assistant. But when she switches into Black Widow mode, oh man, I would love it if she had a Russian accent. These are wishful thinking. It doesn't discourage my likeness, or doesn't detract from my enjoying the film, I should say. I really like how the movie ends. It kind of sets up again for we have more stuff coming down. They tell Tony Stark that they want him as a advisor, as someone to consult about things, but they want the Iron Man suits for the Avengers. So that kind of left us still kind of like, oh, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then again, at the end of the movie, the end credit scenes, we see Agent Coulson, Clark Gregg, shows up in the New Mexico desert, and they say they found it, and it pans over to Thor's hammer, thus signifying the next movie is Thor. So what a great treat that was. So now we knew we're going to get Thor, and now we're sitting there like, what is a Thor movie going to be like? What's it going to be like? Well, that's going to be on week 4's video next week. So tune back in here next week. It's going to be about Thursday or Friday. I'm going to be in Vegas Monday through Thursday, so this will have to be filmed after I get back. But yeah, tune back in for week 4, where I will be doing my recap and review of Thor. And thanks for stopping by my channel. Do me a favor, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe if you can, and hit the bell, get a notification when I post new content or I go live for any of my drawings or video gameplay. Once again, I'm Greg Scott Bailey. Thanks for coming by my channel, and as always, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye.